Evening, folks, and welcome to the countdown to kick off ahead of Leeds United's away trip to Carrow Road against Norwich City. Leeds looking to get 3 points back to back, and a win tonight could put Leeds top of the table, or at least in the top two, if results all go our way. And there's some big games tonight: Burnley against Plymouth, Luton, Oxford, QPR, Hull, Sunderland derby, and the big one to keep an eye on: West Brom v Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough could do us a bit of a favour tonight. Joined as always by Stats Dalton to preview a game. Andrew, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, it's come around very quick after what had to be described as a routine 3-0 victory over Coventry City at the weekend. I did predict 2-0, so I'm doing well on the predictions for the last two games. I think this is a good time for Leeds, actually. I think we'll know a lot more about where we are as a club, I think, this season, this week, with obviously the Norwich City game tonight, and then 3 days later we're going from one end of the country to the other end to play Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Obviously, we got beat there last season. And obviously, we're welcome to Team News very, very shortly. But obviously, no Ethan Ampadu up until probably January next year. So, it's a big one this for Leeds tonight. It'll be a tough one. Norwich coming on the back of two victories. Jonas Thorup is starting to get his ideas on paper down at Carrow Road, I think, to take over after David Wagner, who obviously was sacked after Leeds beat them in the playoff semi-final last season. But and then we'll come to the stats. We've got a good record up at Carrow Road lately. So, game very much looking forward to. Tough game, they'll come into on the back of two very good results, I think, without conceding. They did concede, I beg your pardon, at Derby County. They scored a very dodgy goal against Derby County on Saturday afternoon when the ball clearly went out. But it's an away game. It's an opportunity to keep the away run going. We haven't lost away from home this season.
Well, we may be debuting the Navy kit tonight, which will be interesting because if you change the wiggly lines and the dark pink on the front to a light blue and a peacock design, it's essentially the exact same kit as the one we could not win in last year. And I wonder will we see the same from the team this year. But I did get to have a look at it in Dublin for the very first time in a long time. I've been able to buy a Leeds shirt in a Dublin store, which was great. But got a good look at the Navy one today. Undecided what to do with it. It has to be lucky. So I'll see if we win tonight first. But it looks like Leeds could be in the third kit. In terms of injury news coming into the game, obviously we've heard the press conference during the week. There is a fair amount for Leeds. No Max Vober out with a meniscus problem, will need surgery, likely to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Ethan Ampadu looks like it's going to be at least 10 weeks, if not 12, which will take him into the new year. Some people suggesting it could even be longer than that, again, depending on how his rehab goes. Isaac Schmidt has a bit of a kind of a bedding in injury, I suppose you call it, a bit of a glute problem. So better to get a glute problem checked before it becomes a hamstring problem further down the line and get that one out of the way. And then Dan James back after international break from a hamstring problem. And Manor Solomon, again, also a player who just wasn't playing a lot of football, loading exercises, has a bit of a back problem. So he will miss this week game. Again, from a Norwich perspective, they're missing quite a few as well. And Mr. Thorup has gone through his list. Ashley Barnes not in the lineup or in the squad tonight, so no lightning rod, unfortunately, for us to get behind tonight. Onel Hernandez is out, as well as Liam Gibbs. Tony Springett is out. Jacob Sorensen and Christian Fastnack is out, which is a good one to miss this game from a Leeds perspective. Always a decent player against us. But he's out of the team as well, but they still have a decent lineup. We'll go through them in a second. But stats, last 5 games, Leeds starting to look really healthy. 4 wins, 1 loss in the last 5, and Norwich 3 wins, 1 draw, and a loss in their last 5. But these starting to look like the train is moving.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of said after the Burnley game. Everyone was doom and gloom against Burnley. I didn't quite understand it. We've lost 1 game this season. You are going to lose games. It's part and parcel of football. You're not going to go through a whole season where you don't lose any games, certainly in the Championship. And we lost to a side that came with a low block that Scott Parker's got them going. But you look at Burnley's result, the drew Oxford on Saturday afternoon, trying to work out the days. There's a lot of football to be played. We're still in the early stages of the season. We've got we're not even hit 10 games yet, to be honest with you. And I'm very, very pleased as to where we are in the table at the moment. An opportunity knocks again for Leeds for 2 games this week, 2 big games. Norwich, who started off not so good, but come into a little bit of form, and then a Sunderland side who have started off really well, and then they've been a little bit inconsistent. Win one, lose one. Obviously got beat against Watford at the weekend. So yeah, it's again another opportunity for Leeds to go and get 3 points. It will be a tough game. Always is a Tuesday night down at Norwich, and these are the kind of games. If you look back last season, the Stokes, the Sunderlands, the midweekers away from home where we weren't great, and tonight I think we've got to go and put performance in, and if we can do that and get a positive result, it'll set us up nicely for the trip to the Stadium of Light on Friday evening, which again will be another tough game, another very, very quick turnaround. So yes, again, I'm very much looking forward to. And let's see what we can do at Norwich City. Also, we had a great win there last season, didn't we? We were 2-0 down, and it was probably a bit of a season-defining game last season because we'd gone on to lose that game. You don't know where the season might have ended up. And then Crescencio Summerville did what Crescencio Summerville did and was absolutely brilliant in the second half at Carrow Road last season. So, yeah, really good, decent, recent record at Carrow Road. And I'm, again, very much looking forward to it. And, of course, the debut of the third shirt, the navy blue and lilac, I think is what the official colours are.
Ah, well. It's something anyway. We'll wear it at least twice, probably. A couple of just comments to get through real quick. Scooby's just asking, and I think pose a question for everybody. If there was no Pascal or Ampadu, who would you give the captaincy to? He knows that Elian is the next in line, but just thinking about it for him, would you give it to Gruev, Brendan, or someone like Rodon? Just for the chat to have a think about in YouTube stats. And IPW is watching this on demand, so I wanted to read this out. Damn you guys, I have a meeting at 7:30 tonight, so I'll have to watch in the replay. I won't get out until 9:30, and I can't listen to the match in audio either. I'll show you the score. We'll be back on after the match tonight to do an instant review of the game straight after this, so you can keep an eye out for that if you want as well. So if you are still floating around at that point, you'll catch that. So yeah, stats. Are the injuries worrying you, or do you think at the moment we're okay, but just no more?
Yeah, I think we're at a point where if we lost a Rodon or a Struick, you're then looking at the likes of James De Bayo, who I don't think has done really, really well. And he's obviously come through the ranks at Leeds. But then you kind of down a little bit to the bare bones of certainly first-team experience. Unfortunately, injuries are part and parcel of the game. It's unlucky that Ethan is out for 10 weeks and who knows after that. And it is a big blow, but that's why we've got a squad. That's why we bought the likes of Tanaka to come in and make his debut for the football club. So I think at the moment we're all right. What we don't want to be is pick up any more injuries, because if you do, the squad then gets stretched. I think the international break has probably come at a good time. I know fans don't like international breaks. I get that. But I think for Leeds, it'll be an opportunity just to regroup and come back again for the Sheffield United game 2 weeks on Friday. So, yeah, we just can't afford any more injuries, because if you do lose a Rodon or a Struick, you really are then struggling to fill that back forward. You then put Groove in there, and I don't know what else you then do in the central midfield. But, as you can see, the team is there.
Getting very, very tight. You've got Byram, I suppose, but again, you're putting square pegs in round holes, which you don't want. The boy is the obvious one. Where is Schmidt? He has a bum problem, bit of a sore glute. Sore glute. And I know from when I played him from coaching, I was told by a physio, a lot of hamstring injuries originate as a glute injury. That's not treated properly, gets too tight, and then it causes the hamstring problem. So better to just get that dealt with. You just don't want to see a fullback with a hamstring problem.
Yeah.
Do you think a free agent? I don't think they'll look at the free agent market, but I think we have enough. The starting 11, we will see. Obviously, we're talking about Ampadu going out of the team as a problem, but one door closes, another one opens, and an opportunity for Tanaka to get his place in this team and to maybe put a midfield. People have wanted to see Tanaka in here. They've wanted to see a partnership in the middle of the park. Injury has forced it upon us, but we get to see Ilya Groove and Tanaka playing in the midfield area. And I would imagine Tanaka would play the deeper lying role like he did when he came onto the pitch last weekend.
Yes, and that's what you've got a squad for, that people have wanted to see Tanaka come in to make his debut. I think a lot of fans would have expected it maybe for Gruev, but out of a negative situation, you've got to look at a positive situation. And tonight is an opportunity for Tanaka to come in, make his debut and put performance. And I think since he's been at Leeds, Tanaka's done really, really well. I thought he came on against Coventry on Saturday afternoon and played really, really well. So yeah, it gives another player an opportunity. I know Amps will probably kicking himself that he's injured, but that is part and parcel of football, and that's why you have squads that you do get injuries. Like look at the example of Rodri at Manchester City. Even Pepper's come out and kind of said we can't. He's a player that just can't do anything with at the moment because we haven't got a replacement for him. But that's why you have squads. And yeah, let's see how Tanaka goes. And I've got full confidence in him to get on a put performance over the next few weeks. We've just got to be careful we don't get any more injuries.
Stats before I throw it up on the screen. We've 11 players out there. What's the interesting thing we should know about?
As both myself and the legend that is Johnny Cooper, absolute top guy at Opta. It's the first time that we've had 11 different nationalities start a game for Leeds United in our history since 1920. So there you go.
Yeah. Interesting one. The bench looking a little bit creaky now. A couple of younger players starting to creep in there. We've got Darlow, Byram, DeBio, Charlie Crew, Rothwell. Sam Chambers finds his way back onto the bench from the under-21 side. Patrick Bamford, Joel Piru, and Joe Gellhardt. I think the likely changes on that are Byram, Rothwell, Bamford, Gellhardt, Piru.
Yes.
Of that mix. Maybe Bamford doesn't even see the pitch, but that's their team. From a Norwich City perspective, they're going with gun and goal. Fisher, Duffy, Cordoba, Doyle, Nunez, McLean, Sleman, Cernak, Science, and Sargent. Science is in incredible form since the season started. Is. That's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I can't actually read that tweet. That's a really strange angle, isn't it? For that one. There we go. I've got it now. Gun, Fisher, Duffy. Shane Duffy once scored, I think, 2 own goals for Blackburn against Cardiff. Cordoba, Doyle,
he's an Irish centre back. They do that by default.
Sounds about right. Kenneth Saints and Josh Sargent. So look, they'll fancy the chances as well. I say Josh Thorpe he came in, didn't he, in the summer, and it's going to take a bit of time for him to sort of get his ideas down on paper, and it will take Norwich a little bit of time. But as I say, Leeds go to Carrow Road on the back of a very good victory against Coventry City, a victory over Cardiff City as well. So they're looking to make it 3 in a row, and there's no reason for me tonight why they can't. But it'll be a very tough game away from home. But the good thing is we haven't conceded away from home either. It's 3 games, no goals conceded. If we can keep that up, it'll match the run of the season 1971 when we're in the First Division.
Did we get promoted that year?
No, we got promoted 63-4, and then we're in the First Division right through to 81-82. We didn't win anything in 71. Yeah.
I'm only interested in the statistics that make it seem like we go automatically. Outside of that, I'm not interested.
Well, the last time we've won not white kit at Carrow Road, we've drawn both games. 2010-11, Max Gradle scored, and 2014-15, Solomon Digara scored. So both 1-1 draws. The Max Gradle was on a Saturday in November. The Solomon Digara was actually in October 2014. Christ, 10 years ago. Where's 10 years gone, Jay? It's like when you look at it like that, I think, geez, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Just for those asking, Sam Chambers is a winger.
Yes,
play inside of the 10, but is a winger, is a white player. Good, very good young white player. Luca Thomas actually got you the under 21 player of the month this month, having a hell of a start to the under 21 season. Thomas after last year with under 18s being very good, so good for him as well. Some really good players in that underage side there. Just going through a couple of bits stats. Any interesting numbers we should be keeping an eye on heading into the game tonight?
Well, as I said, we've never kept 4 clean sheets away from the start of the season since 1970-71. We're looking to win 4 league games in a row at Carrow Road for the first time in our history. So that's to look out for. And I think I did just tweet a couple. You'll like a couple of these actually. These I try and get a bit of player stats when my thing actually wants to load up when it wants to. And it's not loading up, unfortunately. But I think I put one up with the player stats that Pascal Struck is level with Carlton Palmer on 130 appearances for Leeds United. Here we go. Yeah, Pascal Struck level with Carlton Palmer on 130. Willie Nonto level with Paddy Kenny on 81. And Joe Rodon level with that wonderful player, Seth Johnson, on 59.
Oh, God.
I know.
You have to mention the name.
Yeah.
Don't mention the name.
Yeah.
Some people say if you say his name 3 times around the halls of Ellen Road, you can hear his voice in the distance. Just he drifts away from everyone.
But one of the most bizarre transfers does, and if you read Peter Isdale's book, it's just even more bizarre. It was a signing we didn't need at that particular juncture, and we wasted a lot of money on him. And hey ho.
Someday someone will write a book that will catalogue all of the interviews that Peter Ridsdale has done about the stuff that happened at Leeds and show how all of the stories have changed over the years to be more favourable towards Ridsdale than actually towards Leeds. Yeah, he changes the story quite a lot. But yeah. There's great stats on your away stuff as well, mate. The fact that we're the only side yet to concede a goal away from home in the championship this year, which goes to show the solidity of the team that we have. And I've been thinking about this. I heard it said during the week, and it's probably a really good point. Maybe we're all a little bit annoyed at Burnley because we're looking at this team this year, and anyone we've played against has looked really average. And then the question becomes, are these teams really poor, and is this league really poor, or are we very good?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the league is a bit weaker than it was last year. I don't feel like there's an Ipswich or a Leicester that will get to 90-odd points this year. Like, even Burnley have looked a little bit flaky at times, to be honest. Luton came down, been really hit and miss, got beat at Plymouth last time out. Sheffield United, I think, are the one to watch. And I think that'll be a really, really good game 2 weeks on Friday night at Ellen Road in front of the Sky cameras. So, I actually believe that Leeds will go on and win the league. And I said that at the start of the season, and I still maintain that now. I think things are slowly starting to click for the club. And I think you look at the last two performances, okay, they weren't against the greatest of oppositions in Cardiff and Coventry, but you can only beat what's put in front of you. And I think we'll find out tonight where we are as a football club. And if we can go to Norwich and get 3 points and go to Sunderland and get a positive result, it all goes well going into the international break after Friday night. So, I feel like we're in a good place. Yes, you're going to lose games, but I think you can potentially lose 6 or 7 games. And
easily.
The thing with Leeds is, when Leeds lose a game, there's a massive meltdown. I was talking to people at work this week, and there's always this massive meltdown when Leeds lose a game of football. It's ridiculous. This is a 46-game league. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You don't have to win promotion in October time. And even Bielsa's great team back in 2019, 2020 had that blip, didn't we, towards the back end of January, February time, when we lost, I think, at QPR, lost at home to Wigan, the infamous Nottingham Forest defeat. And then all of a sudden, it all changed over with the 1-0 draw at Brentford on the Tuesday evening. So nothing's won. I said this on Saturday, nothing's won, nothing's lost. But again, it's an opportunity for the Whites or the Navy Blues, should I say, to go and get 3 points, which a notorious difficult place, but not for Leeds. And I think they'll come away with 3 points this evening.
Yeah, I think another professional looking performance is what we'll get, even with the changes. I thought we looked very, very strong at the weekend. The players that came into the team looked really good. Ramazani's looked excellent. He looked really good against Coventry, who were a step up from Cardiff, albeit probably not a massive step up, but then that could be the league this year. It could be that every single game. And tonight, Norwich have said, Jonas Hofthorp has said, he will play his football tonight and they will take chances against Leeds. You've got to think that plays into our hands a bit, Stats, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I think when we play teams, Jay, that don't have that low block like Burnley have, and Burnley, look, they did a job. Scott Parker set them up not to basically be overzealous, get the goal on the counter-attack, which they did from Koleosho, and then just sit back for the rest of the game, and unfortunately they couldn't break them down. Leeds are better when they're playing sides that come out and attack them, and I think that might give Leeds an opportunity tonight to go and get 3 points.
Yeah, you'd hope that. And again, at times in games when teams have left space, we've looked really good. Willie Nanto's goal at the weekend, a cracking goal, but it comes from, again, there being space in the park for Leeds to play in, and they've done it really, really well. A couple of real quick score predictions just to fly through. Ian Sunderland 4-2 to Leeds. 6-game thriller on that one. Jason O'Keefe 3-1. Billy Mack says 3-0 Leeds win. Norwich 2-0 win. And then the Leeds juggernaut will get going after that. Okay. 3-1 Leeds, 2-0 Leeds win, 2-1 Leeds, 2-0 Leeds, 2-1 Leeds, 1-0. Done. 2-1 Willie Nanto first to score. Again, like Saturday. Okay. Stats, do you think Leeds will be top of the table come the start of January?
Yes, I do. I really do. I think even though with the absence of the captain Ethan Ampadu, I still believe we've got enough in this squad to go and do a job and to go and get promoted. And I think this year we'll learn from the mistakes of last year, because I think what killed us the momentum last year was probably the international break after Easter. I think we'd just beaten Millwall, haven't we? And then we go to Vicarage Road on the Good Friday, and it just kind of went a little bit wrong. Then you have the Sunderland draw, the Blackburn defeat, QPR defeat, and we just finished the season not the way we wanted to finish the season. Yeah. But I think tonight will give us an opportunity of where we are as a team. It's a good test for us away from home under the lights. But I think away from home, we've been fine. You look at the job we did at West Brom. We knew we had to. We didn't have the personnel against West Brom to go and get the 3 points. We got the 1 point, which I think was absolutely fine. They can't be sniffed at. And then the 2 games against teams in blue against Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff City. So we got 3 points and 5 goals. So sorry, 3 points and 4 goals. So yeah, I'm confident tonight. I think we can go and do a job, and that'll set us up nicely for the big game against Sunderland, who have hated us ever since 1973.
I grew up, my dad despising Sunderland and his brother loving Sunderland, and for a very long time I didn't understand or get why they both did what they did, because my uncle's not a Sunderland fan, but he loved Sunderland. And then I found out years later the Sunderland thing, and I was like, all right, okay, yeah. Cup finals in Leeds, on matches in Leeds. So yeah. Massive thanks, Free Falling, for the super chat. Really appreciate that. We'll be happy with another win. 3 points on the board would be great. I think we need some centre back reinforcements in January. That might actually happen. I mean, if Ampadu's not perfect come into that time, it might be the perfect opportunity to reinforce that area, because I think we're okay in the middle of the park. You got Rothwell still on the bench. Charlie Crew, I think, will play minutes. And actually, before we brought in Tanaka and Rothwell, I think we all thought Crew would play minutes midfield anyway this year. So, you got Stats, what score prediction do you think we'll have tonight? Who do you think?
I'm going to 2-1 Leeds, Nonto and Ramazani. I think we've got enough. I think once you win a game, it can become a bit of an addiction to go and win the next game, the next game, the next game. And you look at the run we went on last season, we won 9 in a row until the draw at Huddersfield Town back at the start of March. So, yeah, I think the players will be up for it. They'll want to go and sort of prove a point against probably a stronger opposition. I think we might concede tonight, but I also think we will go and win the game 2-1.
Can they do it on a rainy night in Norwich? We'll find out later on. Tonight it is 7:30 now. We're going to log it off. Get ready for the game. I'll be back after the game. There'll be a video that will come up with just my initial take on as a review of the game. And then tomorrow morning, the Leeds news, and then the final review tomorrow evening with the lads on the panel. There is a redirect in place for Just Joe football show. So if you want to do the watch along with Joe, that is automatically in place. As soon as we hit stop here, you'll be ushered over towards Joe's channel. You can check that out if you want to as well. So that's massive. Thanks for joining me already this week. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again this week. It's a busy one. We've got another big game at the weekend, or before the weekend. So anyway, thank you very much for your time, folks. Have a great evening. Fingers crossed for 2 points. I'll talk to you in a while. See ya. Bye.